Hey guys, so we are back with another Samsung DVMS system. We are going to be doing a repair on this module over here. This is the master and this is the slave unit. We are going to replace the entire four-way valve assembly. To make matters easy for ourselves, we'll probably remove a portion of the assembly to have the installation a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove all these panels so that you guys can have a closer look at what exactly we are going to be doing today. Alright, so a little closer view. This is all our control boards over here, and just so you guys can have a look and see some of the piping. So our assembly that we've got goes all the way from our ball valves all the way up. That's this entire section right here. So what we are probably going to end up doing is only replacing this top section and unsweating our assembly from over here as well as over here, and then there should be one for the high side as well. I think this valve is included. We'll have a look. I'll show you guys once our assembly gets here. I'll give you a view of what that looks like so you have an idea of exactly what we're going to do. So what we're going to end up doing now is we're going to go ahead and clean all those areas where we need to unsweat. But first things first, we need to recover the charge from this condenser, this heat recovery system. And just for those that are not too familiar with DVMs, here we have our main board. This is a slave unit, but this is our main board. That's the EEPROM right here, so all of the information, indoor unit models, outdoor models, the type of version it is, as well as all of the different capacity ratings are all saved and stored on this EEPROM over here. So we've got our main board, we've got our hub board, which essentially is like a gateway. So you've got all your inputs and sensors, as well as electronic expansion valves. So these are all sensors, thermistors, temperature pipe sensors, air temperature sensors. So there's quite a bit of sensors. You've got a discharge sensor, you've got a compressor top, you've got two suction sensors, then we also got a condenser out. We've got a sensor that's measuring ambient temperature. We've got a high pressure sensor as well as a high pressure switch, as well as a low pressure sensor and a low pressure switch. So yeah, over here we've got all our high voltage valves. From your EVI valve, you've got your crankcase heaters. This particular model still utilizes crankcase heaters. You've got a main cooling valve, you've got a hot gas bypass, you've got your EVI bypass. This is a very important one over here. This is your accumulator return valve. So in DVM systems, that is a crucial component. Whenever you've got a compressor failure, you want to check this component. So this guy right here, as you can see, this guy right here, here's your suction accumulator, and that guy will activate during cooling mode, and the oil will be returned back to your main suction line, which is at the back there. As you can see, if I zoom in, right there, so that is your main suction line. So yeah, that valve will activate. So what you want to do is, when testing it during your maintenance schedule, what you want to do is you want to check the temperature differential on that valve. So while the system's running and cooling, disconnect it, feel the pipe on either side, wait a couple of minutes, let it warm up, and then put that plug back in again, and then check the temperature across that valve. You can use temperature clamps if you have. If not, just doing a test by hand is it's decent enough. That'll let you know more or less if you are in the ballpark or not. Alright, our valve is here. Let me show you guys how it looks. Alright, here we have our valve assembly, or at least our four-way valve assembly. Right here, as you can see, all the way from the ball valves goes up, and you've got this four-way valve assembly over here. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to just unsweat these two sections, and that'll be these two welds, that weld over there, this weld. This one we'll have to pinch close and weld it up, but essentially we'll just have those four welds instead of dealing with the bottom section over here. Since the system is operational, we've got a charge in the system, so we're only recovering the charge from this condenser.